Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team pick. Radiant team pick.
Enchantress.
Dire team pick.
Mirana.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Doom. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
I can see everyone in chat is much smarter than my panelists here, being able to get the correct answer for my trivia. Unfortunately for my panelists, they still have to be here and analyze drafts all throughout the day. Maybe we'll get someone in from chat to give us actual professional analysis. My guys
of techies.
But either way,
I'm glad I'm going after this game. Can't stand
you have to come back, Darcy. That's the thing.
Yeah, true. Later on.
At least you get a series to have a little bit of redemption, a little bit of thoughts.
Yeah.
But lads, game number 3 draft is underway. I'm getting ready to jump into it. But Tempo versus HellRaisers, 1 map away from either one of these teams. So far, all right, I'm just going to let you guys talk about it. I was going to ask some questions, but they're already answered on the screen, boys.
It's fine. Enchantress again. I mean, game number 2 was not King R, it was King No R, as coined by Lacoste to me in a few PMs that we're having. But Enchantress, luckily enough, untouchable, don't even need to use your ultimate. So getting a little lucky there.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first game they've got Ench, right, out of the 3 games that's been picked. Obviously, seems like Tempo's really rating that Centaur after that great performance he had in the offlane. But this hero should have came last game. This Doom pick, honestly. This should have been the hero in the last pick, or even the Rikimar, where I feel like they're so confident playing these heroes, especially all the CIS teams. I see no reason why they shouldn't be taking it, especially since they can flex it in middle as well as offlane. Yep. Just gives them more kind of options and a bit more kind of a mind game, because you don't know exactly where it's going, so you don't really know how you want to pick into it.
You've secured your early game already. That's the big thing for HellRaisers, right? Doom Enchantress are always going to be really strong, have some nice aggressive timings, and you know, you've got that extra movement speed as well on the end, so you shouldn't get caught with any sort of stops coming through from the Centaur. On the other side, though, Tempo, it's a little bit slower. Like, yes, have a decent amount of impact as a Mirana once you hit like level 5, just good amount of damage AoE from Starstorm. Arrow is just as good in terms of the stun duration at all levels, and Centaur probably a little bit less so. If you have a rough start in the laning phase, then it becomes very hard for you to come back. So I'm thinking here from HellRaisers that they're just going to try and bully the Centaur as much as possible. You've already got the Enchantress to be able to do it. Now it's just about what else can you pick. They're not going to be able to have the lifestealer with that one already being removed in the first phase by Tempo.
Yeah, the other thing as well to mention is since they open up it's pretty clear it's going to be a 3-4, the Centaur as well as the Mirana. So you already know what you're going into the match, and you haven't picked your carry, so you can just ideally pick your carry depending on the matchup, which is really good for HellRaisers. As you mentioned, they already have a very strong position 5 here that can allow them to already apply pressure. And I mean, at this point in time, I shouldn't be too worried for HellRaisers, because if they want to later pick their hero, they can, and they should just play for lane dominance heroes. Not as the carry, but for the position 4, because for the next pick, if they were to opt to go for something that can be flexy or even just a solid position 4, they still have to keep guessing where the Doom's gonna go, so you can't really just pick your carry as tempo to deal with their supposedly pause 3 or pause 2 Doom. And at this point in time, they need some setups. I'm wondering if they're actually going to go back for that Invoker, because I mean, he played extremely well. And
I think we're going to see something like a Grimstroke coming out from HellRaisers. It pairs really well together with the Doom, obviously, just the Soulbind. If you get the Soulbind onto the Centaur as well, you use the Stampede, you need to have a lot of solid communication with whoever you're linked to, because you can't just run in opposite directions. You can and getting not that much use out of it. It's something that they play in the position 4 role a fair amount as well, so he's no stranger to having that, especially if you could put it together with the Doom. You've already got a lot of movement speed. You're going to get a lot of good ink swirls off too.
Well, let's see how HellRaisers is going to demonstrate their third pick, because right now they can make it revealing where the Doom is going to go. It's pretty clear that the Treant's going to be played as a position 5 hero, so ideally they play a hero tempo, that is, that can utilize that laning dominance to play a hard carry. Heroes like Morphling would be really good, even though it's annoying to deal with Doom, but your lane's gonna be pretty free. Ooh, Magnus, okay, it's slow. Yeah, I'm not a fan, because tempo tends to play pretty fast in both games we've seen. Game 1, they played that Drow lineup. Game 2, they played that Invoker strong lane dominance to utilize the Sunstrikes. So third game is gonna be pretty similar playstyle, I'd assume, and they go for the Terrorblade, which they already have, by the way. Yep, I like this because right now it seems like they're going to be able to win the lane in the safe lane with the Treant Protector as the position 5, and then with the Terrorblade, you can still just use your Metamorphosis to siege those early towers. If you fall behind, you always have that ability to jungle, so you're not in a position where you're in a time.
We haven't seen that much of the Monkey King, you know, coming out a little different. I think we might have seen it once or twice.
I think we have seen it.
Yeah, having a look at the Chinese region, they're playing it first pick every single time. It's a really strong hero at this point, and I'm kind of surprised that we haven't got into it that much just yet. You know, its laning has become a lot stronger since getting a lot more armor. It's not quite as strong into that late game, but still, you can just get those early timings, get an early ags, and really there's not too much the team can do about it. So
the one thing I'm worried about right now is this tree is going to get a lot of value as a pick, because the only way you take towers as HellRaisers is by starting fights, getting kills, and then taking the tower. If that doesn't happen, you just can't push into the living armor, you can't push into the grass. Terrorblade's going to just be splitting and farming in the jungle, and if you can't trade effectively, it's just going to get to the late game where tempo is just going to shine with this lineup. Yeah, I'm a little worried.
Enough, lads, with this Monkey King, HellRaisers were the ones that picked it up.
Oh.
They lost to Viking GG in that game. They were playing against the Invoker and a Faceless Void and a Bloodseeker. They had Rubik, Magnus, Alchemist, Monkey, and...
I mean, that just sounds like a weird draft overall. I can see why they lost.
Well, I mean, they're the team that's picked it up. So, you know, as you said, Chinese region seems to like the Monkey King quite a lot, and see if HellRaisers can pull out a victory.
Well, what I'm wondering now is, where's the Magnus going to go?
Yeah, well, I mean, they most commonly play it for Funnick. It doesn't really feel like a good lane for the POS 3 to have it. They also play it mid and POS 4. I don't think it's good as a POS 4
POS 4 is going to be way too slow. Yeah. I don't think we've seen a game where a position 4 mag has won over position 5 in this tournament. And this is a game where there's no Rubik. And I don't even think they care about it either. They just have to focus on doing well in the laning phase, tempo that is. And they have a very good win condition late game, even if HellRaisers can kind of escalate their farm utilizing Empower. If they don't win lanes, if they don't get those fights that they really need to take towers, there's just not going to be enough space on the map for them to farm. And I'm a little worried right now, because HellRaisers needs that kind of hero that can in, just start fights, just create the tempo and allow them to kind of set the pace of the game, like in the first game where they had the Night Stalker mid, and he really just set the pace in the early to the mid game transition. I'll
be honest, I'm a little surprised that HellRaisers has gone and banned out the Zeus themselves. I thought that might have been an okay way for them to round out their draft, because you're going up against a Terrorblade, and really, outside of the Stampede, how are they going to get onto your backlines and deal with you? You've got a Doom who's relatively tanky on the front lines, Monkey King pops the Wukongs, and he gets a lot of extra armor. So it's a little weird for me. They just go back for the Willow one more time.
Well, this is HellRaisers now.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, last game I was so sure HellRaisers would have 2-0'd, and now I'm looking at HellRaisers lineup.
Easy 2-0, I believe.
Yeah, easy. 2-0. Should have been an easy 2-0.
Exact quote. Now, you guys were talking on the fact that you don't really see this being a good Magnus position. 3 games, does that mean that Fnatic is going to have to take that Doom? They put it on Sani in the mid lane, try and create a little bit of tempo with a Magnus?
There's no guarantees, because it can still be a Doom mid, MK carry, and Magnus off lane with the Dark Will. There's definitely a lot of flexibility with all 3 of the core heroes that HellRaisers have picked. Until we actually see who's actually playing what, then we're going to know for sure who's going to be where. But that's a good thing for HellRaisers going right now, because Tempo is probably thinking the same lines. They don't know who's going to go where. They're probably going to be basing it on the previous games or statistics from who's been playing certain heroes. But realistically, in the CIS region, they tend to play the Doom middle more so than not. So, I mean, that's one of them. And I don't think they would put the MK mid without seeing the actual matchup, because Tempo still needs to play the mid laner, right? They haven't picked that yet. So, I mean, for Tempo here, I already like their lineup. They have a very easy win condition in the later stages if it gets there. They just really have to dominate that offlane, because they have a Mirana Centaur, which might be hard if they're versing the MK. But at the same time, having the Stomp plus the Arrow, I still think they'll do fine. And just looking at how they open up with the Centaur, it feels like they're very confident on this hero to actually pick it in the first phase.
But who are they catching is my thing. Like, Enchantress, really, you've got a ton of movement speed. You shouldn't get caught by the
what about the Oracle Oscar?
He doesn't have as much movement speed as the Edge, you know? DP, I like it. More push.
I really like it.
Yeah.
It's strong in the lane, despite the fact that it's going to be up against a Magnus, Doom, or an MK. It's going to do very well.
Against Doom.
And it's not going to be affected by Doom in the later stages, because you just pop your Exorcism first of all, right? So it's a hero that solves that. It's got a lot of push. It's got a lot of presence in the mid game. They can take objectives with this. I like Tempo lineup a lot.
Yeah, I'm going to have to say Tempo as well, partially because, you know, I've really enjoyed the interviews that we've been having with LeBron. You want to see them get a bit of success, a bit of belief.
So you don't like the interviews with Fnatic then?
No, they've been really good as well, but
come on, man.
You want to go for the underdog, right?
You got to be spicy. You got to have one favor or another, man. And speaking of favorites, predictions then. Need a name.
Tempo, not Overcat in HellRaisers. And you've got the Christmas tree on LeBron with his nice.
Please don't ever say Overcat ever again.
I'm trying to not be biased with the players itself, but I really like Tempo's lineup. They're just I mean, in the previous game, I really liked HellRaisers' lineup, and I thought they'd 2-0. They didn't, but I'm going to go with Tempo.
All right, maybe the panel curse could be real here. It was pretty real for ESL 1 Thailand. Let's see if it continues for ESL 1 Germany. And for the final time, we're going to be seeing one of these teams, Tempo or HellRaisers. And for the final time today, we're going to head it over to Gareth and Lacoste.
Thanks, guys. That's right. Here we are, game 3. It is decider time, as one of the balances hangs in the line here. Lacoste, the panel, potentially cursing one of these teams. Are you going to add into that? Who are you going for?
I like the way they started this show. I mean, the first couple of days were so good. You know, Team Secret plays against some lower tier team. Team Secret's gonna win. Then they brag how they're good they are at their predictions. 100% prediction rate, guys. After game number 1, we're so good. And now, you know, things are starting to show a bit. But yeah, I'm gonna go with them. Tempo. They have a sick lineup, and this is a lineup that has pretty much everything. You have a good way to start a team fight. You have ways of dealing damage to the towers. Roche taking is there. TB plus Death Prophet. I like Centaur as a response to Doom, where you can just do Centaur ulti, run away. They don't have the best catch. Whenever you have Doom in the team, you need to have like a lot of stuns. You have heroes who are speedy. Monkey King is that hero, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. So primarily target for Doom should be Centaur in most of the fights.
Just to stop the Stampede from coming out?
Yes, because in this type of a game, when Centaur's playing against Doom, he's not gonna be using stampede aggressively, just wants to have it if they don't like that, let's say TB got doomed. And there's also a good hero against the Doom in this game, and that's Treant Protector with the living armor. Mouse problem. Seems like every single game there is a problem for one of the teams, either lag or mouse problems.
The tactical pause at the start.
Ventrilo, yeah. My Ventrilo's not working, guys. Back in
mumble's
2010.
broken. And you know, I'm kind of happy we haven't used things like that in a while. Skype, Ventrilo, Mumble, all been overtaken.
Yeah, Reynat, that's actually Kingar's name. That's.
Oh, is that what it actually stands for?
Yes,
right.
Sir.
Yeah, I think I'm a big fan of this last pick, DP. Like you were mentioning at the end of the draft, it really does round everything out. Allows you to kind of cycle between your Metamorphosis and Exorcism to take objectives, Roshan, towers, whatever it might be. She also brings you that AoE silence, which, you know, against Monkey King and Magnus could be the undoing, as you're super reliant on an RP as your primary form of team fight and your initiation as HellRaisers.
Yep.
And then you've got this Stampede to save TB, Stampede to save DP. You've got living armor from the Treant. So many ways to buff up and keep these frontline active heroes alive. I think I'm also leaning towards tempo myself.
If you ask someone, like, to name 4 abilities of that prophet, I think in 99% the silence would be the last ability, because that's the kind of an underrated ability that you don't think of, but just having 1 point in silence, it's a 3-second AoE silence.
Yeah, and a pretty big one as well.
This is something the whole team fight if you land it on a correct hero.
I mean, even like a year ago, we were seeing, I think it was Miposhka trying like position 5 DP with Spirit Siphon and Silence, kind of skipping out on Crypt Swarm, running around and winning just with, what is it, 125 radius AoE circle. What do we pause for now, Lacoste? Because I saw them resume and then pause again.
Seems like it might not be the mouse. Maybe it's Kingar after all, as LeBron stated. I mean, some of these players are very good friends. You know, you play with them in public games. You played with them in a team. Didn't work out. Another go. Seems like we're ready. Players are ready. Okay,
Underway.
Like what Tempo's doing. I think HellRaisers should try to do the same thing. This is something that higher caliber teams are trying to do. When they see TB, you kill him, you bring 3 heroes to the lane where Terrorblade is, and just try to kill him during the meta. But Tempo will try to do the same thing. Like, it's a lot of slow. Centaur already got the hoof stomp.
And they just grasp, hoof stomp, arrow. Lots of ways to catch a hero as they all shift up towards top. This is something that Tempo often like to do as well. You know, start the tri lane, then shift more supporting hero down bottom, help out in their position 1. Monkey King up top for now, scouts out the Centaur.
30 seconds.
Mitch pretty far forward. Mirana up there with LeBron. DP also lurking around in the northern part of the map. Scouting out Funnick, who is deforesting the right side of the map. Givering twice, I believe, already.
That's a third
Breaking
time.
a tree. Third. Oh, wow.
And he also used Quelling Blade to cut down some of the extra trees, so Treant Protector can't approach.
Begins.
They see it's Treant Protector 5, so they know he's going to be paired up with the Terrorblade on the bottom lane.
And they also get a ward down in that deeper jungle. So they'll be able to see the shifting movements of the Verana as well as the high ground ward towards their mid tower. Verana's going to have a pretty difficult time, DNZ, to maneuver away from this top lane into more active areas with her arrows. Tempo still keeping 3 up top. You've got your mid DP against Doom. Going to be pretty boring for the most part the first couple of minutes. I think Krillat's Terrorblade just going to hide behind tower, so we'll keep eyes on that top lane where Nick's Monkey King, he's toying with the idea of going for creeps. Arrow connect, beautiful from DNZ. In we go on to the Monkey. Nix is going to try and mischief his way out, but first blood yet again. Done by DNZ, and now Treant can go down bottom to help out his TB.
And this is the lane that's going to go well for tempo. They already started with the first blood, of course, but if Enchantress takes a creep, Mirana's just gonna arrow it.
Just like that. Look at those big creeps. Good right clicks there from King R. I don't think DNZ's too bothered by it. And already Centaur 7-1 against the Monkeys 3-0 CS. It looks like it's another beautiful start to a game as Mitch is looking for the Enchantress.
What did you expect?
She gets out her Nature's Attendance, heals back up to full.
Now she's out of mana. This is the second time she's using Nature Attendance. It's, I think it's the highest costing spell in the game, 170.
Nice little play onto the Treant down bottom. Pressuring Krill out as well, as Lil just chasing Treant around and the creep wave. Terrorblade, farm under tower, and he's got plenty of regen there to sustain himself. Also meeting up the creep waves, so Funnick can't drag it back and reset lane equilibrium a little closer to his tier 1. Man, Nyx really isn't having a good time. Can't really get close to creep wave. He's trying to boundless strike to
bottom lane. Krillat will go
and they are going on the Terrorblade. The Shadow Realm.
They lost the vision.
It's held on too long. Lil has to launch it onto LeBron.
It was a nice play. First Bramble connected, then skewer into another Bramble just to keep him in place. But, you know, Terrorblade for some reason has 13 armor plus 1 extra.
DP laying it on thick in that mid lane. CSing very well.
Stars,
About a wave and a half. Oh, hello.
Goodbye,
And the strike top lane. Nyx just out with the Mirana thanks to the Jingu stacks to build it up. Good little swing in momentum there for HellRaisers. And now they can pressure Mitch away from the creep wave for the first time this laning phase.
That should definitely not happen. That's Mirana with Boots of Speed with the first blood. Enchantress didn't even have a point in enchant there, so I'm not sure how he died. I was just watching the bottom lane.
Yeah, just saw Mirana set drop quickly. Bottom, you're talking about both teams trading pretty evenly. Terrorblade's farm not suffering a great amount. And Treant is definitely struggling to stay in the lane though. That early move by Funnick, cutting down so many trees with Skewer, Quelling Blade, there's nowhere for LeBron to play from. He's just spamming out in his grass trying to secure the creep wave for Krillat.
Terrablade's farming nicely, 15 and 5. LeBron's doing whatever he can. You mentioned the tree cutting, but still, decent CS and decent levels of TP. Level 4 less in.
catch us if you can. Come get
Large camp.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Mirana, the DD rune secures King R and might even loop in towards mid. Sani's being slowed down and there's another Spirit Siphon here. Maybe a bottle charge for Nuke can allow them keep this chase going. Sani's Scorched Earth is about to end and DNZ just leaps on forward. They're diving past tier 1. Fairy Fire, not enough. The double null.
And the double damage. Curing calls. That's why it's so important to check the runes. Enchantress did not have enchant there to actually purge it off.
Look where Mirana is now. DNZ made a long walk from top lane, gets a kill, mid lane gets a kill. He wants the hat trick. He wants to find someone down bottom, and with that arrow onto the Dark Willow, Nature's Grasp slow her down. Skewer away from the bounty rune. Funnick gets it still. And Dark Willow will survive, throws out a Bramble Maze for good measure. Mirana thinking about chase up the high ground for the other bounty. Won't be able to go for it too deep though.
Problem is they have no damage that goes into Shadow Realm. DP will pick up Bounty Rune on her side, refill some mana. Exorcism is online, and Catapult as well. Well, not for long, Doom just ate it. Arrow? Never mind.
The range creep. Mitch has made a lane for himself elsewhere. He's dragging creep waves around now. Doesn't want to straight up lane against the Monkey King, who does naturally counteract that laner.
Mitch is in trouble. Mitch is actually dead.
Going for him, and the Doom's come as well. You're right. Looks like Mitch 6 feet under in a second. Burnt down by the Scorched Earth of Doom.
Well, no wonder his name is Xani. KS Ani. Stole the kill with the Scorched Earth.
How much damage does it do? A piddly amount. 30 damage. That's all it took to steal it. King R with a good deep observer ward here as well. Going to be scouting out where the TB loves to farm. As we see the shift from bottom lane westwards. Krillat is migrating. There's illusions. Triple Wraith Band TB. What's your saying, Lacoste, when someone wants triple Wraith Band? What?
He's a tryhard to win that game. If you buy more than 2 Wraith Bands on hero like TB, Ricky, like, you know, stuff's serious. Arrow still available.
Has been killed.
Type of courier on its way out. Shadow Realm Arrow connects to finish off the Dark Willow. Seems pretty worth it for Lil though. Gets a courier, forces heroes into that area, so it opens up the map for the rest of his team.
Tempo has one of the best heroes besides Vibrant to just sit on the bottom tier 1 tower, collect XP, and that's Treant Protector. They can't push since TB is jungling. They need a hero that can just collect the XP, try to get some CS if possible, while Mirana can play aggressively in the other lanes.
Yeah, LeBron doesn't even have a point of living armor yet. Might pick up a value point now. He's hit 4. 2 points in the nature's ground, like you're saying, lets him wave. Keep that tier 1 tower nice and safe.
Yes!
Does in fact have living armor now. As an arrow hits mid. DP was on her way up towards top though. Looks like either miscommunication or Noob just doesn't feel like they can kill the Doom regardless of what happens.
DNZ just asserting dominance. You know, I can arrow you anytime I want, so you need to be careful, and then you move to a different lane. Rune spawning in a couple of seconds. There's a rotation from HellRaisers. Smoke on Krillat.
They want that TB. But again, he's so good at reading this map, realizing, you know, the fact that Mitch is in the creep wave, no one's pressuring him, means Monkey King's missing. Now, showing his face. Stampede, and he might be forced to use it here to run away, but it looks like they want to turn and fight. With the Exorcism arriving, they net and Curse Crown the Death Prophet. Mitch is still on the back of Nyx, really getting on his case, and the arrow just hitting the creep wave as it arrives. But Noob killing off the courier with some of those little ghosties. He wants to push forward and look for this objective.
Radiant's
Tier 1's
middle
open for them, and it's all space for Terrorblade as he continues farming back in the jungle.
Structures are fortified.
I like what Xani is doing, not putting a skill in Doom. Guys, I have Doom. Yeah, that's your hero's name. You need to get your ulti up.
What's up with that? At least Magnus has an RP. 2-man Battle Strike out the Primal Spring in. RP's ready, catches DP. And with the ghosts gone, that Noob just falls out so quickly as HellRaisers even up the kill score, and now have a 2k lead for them in net worth, coming in to Doom the Centaur. Should be able to track back onto Mitch and take him down, dispatching with the 4-legged man pretty quickly. As Tempo don't get the tower, don't get any kills, not even a single initiation from them.
At least they're getting Treant Protector on the bot lane. He's level 6. Before 10-minute mark on your position 4, which is always nice. They did not get too much out of that DP ulti. The execution was far from perfect.
Yeah, really halted in their tracks by Curse Crown and just the net from the troll as they set up top. Mitch is back to try and soak up this pretty big creep wave.
Centaur brother, what are you doing?
So many chain stuns here. Centaur with a missed skewer though. That might be a nice little escape for Mitch to make, and LeBron even had the overgrowth. Just in case.
His own kin turned against him.
Centaur
Conqueror against Centaur Warrunner. What's the little one called?
Corsa. Okay. Centaur Corsa. So Tempo, they realize, you know, nothing happening top lane, not going to get that tower. They see everyone from HellRaisers lurking around up there. So coming quickly with the Metamorphosis, Terrorblade getting involved, and they get that tier 1 mid. But it's still looking real good. HellRaisers, 2 of the top net worth heroes. Doom has over 5k. Monkey King's closing in on that as well. Even after what it felt like a really rough early laning stage for Nyx, but he's come back tremendously.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, he's doing fine. He's second on net worth. He got those 2 kills, last hits, and was involved in another 2 kills. So everything's working out fine for him. He's gonna be empowered for most of the game, so his items are gonna come online a bit faster than usual. Doom still deciding whether I go for a BKB,
Radiant's
whether I buy a Blink
bottom tower is
Dagger,
under attack.
but he's mastered
Radiant
right now.
structures
Like,
are
maxed out
fortified.
Devour.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Got that bonus armor from the toughness aura too. No chance for the Radiant to defend the bottom tower with a catapult wave there from
Radiant's
HellRaisers.
bottom tower
So
is
they
under
try and go for the
attack.
trade.
Dire's top tower is
The-
under attack.
Opting not to use
Radiant's
exorcism,
bottom
just gonna
tower
right
has
click it
fallen.
down.
And he also found one of the best tier 1 items for himself.
Dire's
Faded
top
Roach on
tower
top of
has
phase
fallen.
boots and drums. He's just gonna be zooming in. Like, the chase potential is there with these 2 items. Still feel like getting a BKB first and then getting Blink Dagger to set things up is much better.
Treant yet again holding out on this bottom lane. Now it looks like LeBron just shows his face, waving his big branchy
Dire's
arms.
top tower is under attack.
If anyone from HellRaisers goes for the bait, but both Monkey, Max, even Dark Willow down here as well, the trio of heroes not getting sucked in. He's from Tempo, Noob, and D&D, both trying to play reactively around the tree. Still a lot more time for the Terrorblade though, and he's catching up. Now overtaking Monkey King, closing in that Doom's net worth. That's what's going to be done in a couple of minutes. Centaur has Blink in 600 gold. It's a far cry from game 2. This is much more competitive as they found the Dark Willow with a nice arrow from DNZ. And Lil, who yet again was on the enemy side of the river, scouting things out and dying for it.
Only 10 kills, 13 minutes in. Still yet to see a big team fight. I guess they're just waiting one item on TB, that's the SMY you talked about, and they want to have a Blink Dagger on a Centaur so they can start things up.
And the Yules on DP just completed, so everything's synchronizing quite nicely. If they can get the items in their pockets. A couple of minutes. Even a medallion on Treant, as he's been given a lot of room to farm.
I think we might see smoke from both sides at the same time. Looking at the items, Magnus, 100 gold away from a Blink Dagger, Doom, just 1,000 gold from BKB. So they're gonna force things out. Like, they have 2 of the best roach-taking heroes in the game. DP and Terrorblade can connect, so they know something is up.
They absolutely do, and here comes Funnick. Close to Blink Dagger, it's 100 all the way, but Noob is so low in HP. Terrorized, fake bump by Lil, and Treant trapped in the middle of a bunch of heroes here, gets off a good overgrowth. The focus of the Lil, so the Dark Willow down with no buyback. Trade back onto LeBron, maybe gonna be there. One more hit, but he's under Invis. Back away he goes to the skewer. Slide in, drifting forward. He's picked up by DMZ as Roshan falls, and Noob is about to drop as well. 6 feet under, the Death Prophet collapsed upon by 4 HellRaisers heroes. And even though Tempo got that first pick, the movement from Funnick without Blink, slide in all the way, wraps around and skewers them across into the Wukongs.
It was only level 1 DP ulti, so it took them a while. Like, only 8 ghosts instead of 16. HellRaisers, they punished that. That's a pretty big deal, you know, stealing a Roche from lineup that has both TB and Death Prophet. I mean, Mirana still has that Aegis, but I don't think it's going to be very effective on Mirana.
Not really where you want it, is it? Ooh, arrow. Arrow? Ooh. I'm pretty sure Funnick knew the look of that arrow. He was fine.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Gotcha.
Monkey got coming. Nothing just yet. Oh, he's got 2,000 gold saved up as Dark Willow tries to get the Bedlam out onto the Centaur. No backup here for Mitch, so Blink Skewer in towards the Brambles. Doesn't quite get him close enough. Finishing blow of the Shockwave.
Magnus going for a bit of a different build than the usual offlaners do. Like, they don't get strength treads. They get mana boost, but they have enough mana sustain. Enchantress getting caught. Arrow will fly out and connect, so that's going to be more than enough to bring King R down.
Good little initiation. It is just the Enchantress, though.
Radiant's middle tower.
But yeah, this
is under
Magnus,
attack.
we've seen plenty of mid Magnuses get very similar builds. Does look like he'll be aiming for the Echo Saber, but he's got a medallion queued up. He's going to be sitting on 2,000 HP, tons of armor. And he could theoretically be that frontline hero here for HellRaisers. Doesn't necessarily need to be waiting in the fog, looking for that perfect blink RP. As a stomped up, catches Dark Willow, silence from Noob to stop any kind of Shadow Realm shenanigans. The Spirit Siphon is enough damage to find Lil.
Now we can see the reason why most of the offlane mags go for mana boots, because you need mana sustain. Sometimes in mana boots on top of bottle. Like, he's really struggling. You need to have constant clarities running, and if you use Empower that's 90 mana, Doom popped.
On to Centaur, yeah, they dust him up. So Moonlight Shadow unable to give that umbrella of safety for Mitch. Dominating now is Kasani. You said he was big 5 minutes ago. Got BKB drums. He's looking ready and raring to fight. As a plate mail is coming out to him as well.
They're stacking armor on their heroes. Mag going for that medallion against TB, against that Prophet. It's straight up physical damage coming up from these two heroes.
Monkey Manta into Ags, we've seen that plenty.
Nyx seems to be favoring Manta style over BKB whenever he's playing against hero like Treant Protector, which I really like. You don't want to pop BKB and then try chasing heroes. This way you have like lower cooldown on an ability to dodge things.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, he's swapping things around. I see Blaze of Alacrity and then a full MKB.
Oh. What's the reason for that, you reckon?
I guess he changed his mind, like, I don't want to go for Ags, now switches back to Ags once again.
Well, we'll see if he makes up his mind. You know, already investing 1,000 gold into that blade makes Aghanim's feel a little bit nicer. 5k lead for HellRaisers, and it feels like Tempo have got to do something here to get momentum back into their hands, and a smoke will do exactly that. They shift across the river, scouting out the Magnus with a TB illusion. He will scepter ready for Noob's Death Prophet, but initiating on this Magnus who has 7.8k HP on Strength Trend, they'll find the Monkey instead. Magnus, can he get in there with a blink of an RP? He's silent, so the answer is most definitely no. But and Metamorphosis popped here for a tier 2. Oh, that is a big kill to get if they can get some objectives off the back of it.
Well, Lil was trying to take the creep wave away. Backdoor region kicking in, still TP only running for the 15 seconds and the meta for like 20-ish, so more than enough to bring the tier 2 tower down. It just gone on position for Mirana. It's time for HellRaisers to strike.
That is key timing, isn't it, Lacoste?
Yes, it is.
DNC loses a second life. Good Bramble Maze. In comes Lil, trying to stop the outpost from being stolen. 30 seconds to that 20-minute mark. And it's Treant, dusted up. They've got the catch up to Mirana thanks to Doom with the Conzi net. They are skewering across, looking for that additional strength hero in the Treant, but instead they'll just replay the outpost.
This Doom is just finding perfect items. First Faded Brooch for the first 10 minutes. Now he's holding up the Clumsy Net, so he has so many things to set things up. He canceled his TP. Figured out, man, Root is following, maybe I should pick that up instead. So yeah.
Trying to find the DP. Noob really out of position here, nowhere near his teammates in the enemy triangle. And Monkey being able just to leap across the canopy from tree to tree, enabled by this Dark Willow, and it's just so simple when you put yourself in front of them like that.
I watched a lot of the tempo games, and this is something that Noob struggles in the mid game. Whenever I say noob, like, people probably just think like which.
You're flaming him.
Yeah, which player?
Rude, Lacoste.
No, which player is he talking about? I'm talking about that Prophet, where he gets caught outside of position multiple times. We've seen that in game number 1, where his juice got picked off so many times.
A double damage rune on Monkey King for a simple tier 1. Well, Funnick, with the help of Sani there, actually trying to trap up the TB, but Fake pumping the RP. Sonic didn't feel comfortable committing for it. Terrorize also just being baited out there a little bit. Though holding on to his cooldowns. Tempo wanting to try and get out of their shell, out of their base. The arrow scraping one of the butt cheeks of Dark Willow. Again, no flinching here from HellRaisers. They've got the two side lanes being farmed very effectively, efficiently. Monkey King and Doom keep gathering up all of this farm on the sides of the map. While again, it feels like Tempo are grouping up much more. They're more limited in their options.
This type of lineup relies on going together once again. Same goes for game number 1. They need to have all 5 heroes to make stuff happen.
And that plays into the hands of Reverse Polarity and Wukong's command. Smoke from HellRaisers. Noob, yet again. DP is just frontlining here as Monkey King jumps straight in on top of it with a Power Strike. They get the RP on the 2. A camp initiation from the Centaur there, but the Terrorize is good. Sending Tempo back, and the damage from HR. It is substantial. 3 heroes in quick succession as DP, Centaur, and Treant all hit that ground with a thud.
This is the HellRaisers that I know that I used to watch 2-3 months ago, where the execution was on point.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Like, what happened? Like, they've been really struggling, and this type of stuff is what I want to see.
Yeah, it was absolutely perfect, but again, it's down to Noob being kind of out of position. He's showing himself on the map. He's in this area where there's no towers. If you want backup, they've got the TP to tier 2. Heroes that can really maneuver themselves those short periods of time. As HellRaisers punch, and they're able to jump the targets they desire. Living armor, it's going to top up the tier 1 for a couple of seconds.
Has fallen.
But again, this Monkey King and Doom pummeling into objectives.
Smoke from Tempo. They want to make something happen. Roche will respawn in 2 minutes. There is Courier from Dark Willow scouting things out inside the pit.
No RP for a minute. Monkey King on the other side of the map. And right now, it's kind of the job of King R to walk into them, right? Just say, hello, you're smoked. Come and kill me then. Show me what you got.
Dire are scanning.
He's not going to do that. He's going to get away with everybody else of HR, not giving away a single casualty. And with no Roshan alive, no tier 1 mid or top to take, Tempo kind of left like headless chickens, wondering, where do we go? What's our next move?
Radiant's
HellRaisers are spreading across the map nicely, getting the most out of it. Monkey King is massive at the moment. Full Aghanim Scepter Mantis style, just needs 2,000 gold to finish off his own KB. And Doom sitting at 35 armor at this point. Like, Doom does not care. The only way you kill this Doom is if Therablade is low and uses Sunder on him.
Yeah, even then it's going to be a struggle. And every time a Tempo hero shows on the map, like the Treant here, they are jumped on immediately. Arrow threads the needle between 4 HR heroes, but LeBron's life is forfeit, and he's forced to buy back, knowing that Roshan could very well be alive right now. We know, of course, 30 seconds until the big man returns. Tempo, they are playing for every inch of this map and every inch of their tournament livelihood as they are slowly but surely slipping away with this final game.
Gotcha! The prize is mine!
Now
just continuing to accelerate with Empowered Monkey, Empowered Doom.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Comfortable just farming with these 2 heroes, bottom lane constantly being pushed in. Enchantress scouting things out inside the pit with one of her creeps.
Does there come a point in this game where Terrorblade is going to be able to basically 1v5 to keep him alive in fights for that long?
Not against these heroes. There is Terrorize, there's Doom. If they get a good initiation before Doom and Centaur uses ulti, Doom's target is DV.
Oh, Xani just getting away from that Blink Stomp. Tempo spent their initiation a little bit here. And Doom is in, straight on Snoob. Wants his BKB, the Yule's up, is going to buy a bit of time, but here's the Phonic skewering her back and forcing the Stampede. Runs abound, but HellRaisers just reset. Now Stampede's down, there's no overgrowth for a minute and a half, while HR keep every single ultimate ready for this proper next Roshan team fight.
The only thing they use is BKB on Doom. It's still very hard for Tempo to just get inside the pit and try to punish it. DP did a good job just holding onto that exorcism, not trying to pop it.
This is the smoke that could really define Tempo's tournament run.
Radiant are scared.
No BKB on
That's
Doom.
right, the BKB's down for Doom, so the Blink Stomp is good. Sani, half HP, the Terrorize will not keep him safe. Buyback's available there for the Doombringer. See if he opts to pop it as Roshan counted out and Satyr Blast flying through from the pit. Clips under the DP, but they are in there. Smoke now from the rest of HR. Ramble Maze, Arrow, everything is being chucked into this area, and Roshan down to about half HP. Boundless Strike and a jump to the central. Mitchell's looking for a sneaky position there to make the initiation. Stomps up, but he's dead. Might have to buy back as Roshan drops low. The LP there is beautiful from Phonic. HR is straight onto the Interlocutor's command. It's a triple for Monkey. HellRaisers have done it. 3 heroes dead, one has had to buy back in the Centaur, but he's got no one left to fight with because LeBron is gone.
Donnie was holding on to that buyback until they see them running inside the pit. Everyone was in perimeter to actually get a good catch, and Phonic, man, he really delivered this game. Multiple RPs with 3-man RPs, securing them back inside Wukong's command. They did not give Doom Aegis, they just gave him cheese. Like, if he has a BKB, he's more than fine. I don't think they get a kill on him.
Yes. Oh, they gave him the perfect opportunity. We just saw back on the replay. When your DP and Terrorblade both walk into the same area, you let that Magnus have the double core. Reverse polarity. Phonic's going to take it any day of the week. He really has performed, like you've been saying. As the Blink Stomp from Mitch catching out the little Dark Willow. It's a kill, but it's a kill for kill's sake. You're not really going to get anything off the back of that. Just a little bit of gold to line your pockets. And I much prefer Phonic here playing your tanky initiation heroes rather than Venomancer.
Oh, that's for sure. Like, even though in the first game he missed a couple of combos with the Mars, try to go for big brain play, spear, and then use arena. It didn't work out a couple of times, but overall he had a good plays. He knows where he needs to stand instead of, you know, just playing this static hero like Venomancer. It's so little you can do with that one.
Yeah, there's no real nuance to it. Can't really play fog or the intentions of your teammates or your enemies.
Yeah.
Against them.
I'm gonna stand in fog, use this Vord right here, put it on the northwest entrance. That's gonna be so dope.
Oh, like, the pixel perfect ward placement, Lacoste.
Yeah, Venomancer is just not that hero.
And much nicer here, Phonic with the skewers. The RPs. Gonna be helping out his Monkey King as well, who is really, really beefy. 20,000 net worth. Satanic is well on its way, on top of the Empower he's been getting all game. And a Solar Crest to boot. Nyx. Great first 30 minutes of this match. Got Aegis on him with cheese on the Doom. Things start to darken for Tempo. Terrorblade really hasn't had the same luxuries as his opponents. Halberd and Manta, good little items there. Trying to work on the bigger Skadi. Now allow him to deal with these melee cores. You know, that is something worth pointing out. Very often Terrorblade, when he's in meta especially, or specifically, very good against your Monkey Kings, your Dooms, your Magnuses, as long as he's able to keep them at arm's reach.
Yeah, not unless HellRaisers gets the first good jump every single time. Then he's like, man, I'm inside of Wukong's command with half HP. What do I do?
Who do I sunder? How do I get out of here? Might be something worth thinking about for Nyx as well, or just going for that BKB to stop these kind of sunder plays. He seems like the kind of player who wants to consider all the options. Satanic turned into a Moonshard at the Blinks, catching onto the King or Enchantress, but Boundless Strike and the damage from Monkey King is more than enough to find DNZ as the Moonlight Shadow gets Mitch away safe and sound. Attempted Phonic Skewer, nice try there, buddy. But HellRaisers with the upper hand once again, not even losing the tier 1 tower. Bottom is being bodyguard. Enchantress has a creep in front of the tier 1. Nobody can take that tower down.
Can't touch the tower. Monkey King. And he's so far, he just bought a Moonshard. As his 4th item.
Yeah, why the hell not? Really, why the hell not? Oh, Death Prophet again, completely out in the open. Lincoln Sphere there, does pop one of the spells. Self-Yules to buy time against the Bedlam, but in comes the Monkey King! Bloody obliterates the Death Prophet! Holy shit!
He went for Boundless Strike, crit damage on top of Empower and Monkey King bar procced. And that's just insane damage. I don't think
Baby!
DP expected this to happen. And he's been blessed by Gaben, Paladin and Sword. This is the item you want to get. Anything good on Tempo's side? I see Centaur with the spider legs, half human, half horse, half spider. Not too bad.
Sounds like Purge's character in our D&D campaign. Half of 20 different things. Blink Stomp, hello. Centaur was in there. Mirana helps kill off the Dark Willow. And the Yules on the Doom stops any counter initiation. Where's the rest of HellRaisers? Here they come. The Skewer chops down the trees that Monkey was jumping across. But good job. I don't think they'll grab anyone. Ooh, maybe. Stampede from Mitch gets him away from the dangerous Monkey. Lurking in his natural habitat at the treetops.
One thing they have that is also good against TB that we did not point out is Enchant. Take away one of the illusions.
Very true. Terrorblade might have to worry about his own real life, not just the illusions. Mirana yet again just using up and running away. Terrorblade TP home with no reveal around. The sentry comes just a fraction too late. Tempo doing a very good job, kind of forcing HellRaisers to play this game of tennis, basically smashing the ball from one side of the court to the other, and not letting HellRaisers use this timing around the Aegis, which is going to expire in 1 minute. They haven't, they haven't gone high ground yet.
Yeah, Tempo's getting them real good. Network difference increases every minute by like 2,000. They're really showing.
Shut up.
They're really showing them right there.
There's a silver lining, Lacoste. Dying by also silver. It's a bit more bronze.
You're making this
godlike Monkey King on his way to stardom.
Phonic had enough. These heroes hiding underneath the shadows. Drain Protector with level 10 talent in his abilities. So he says, screw it, I'm gonna buy Gem. I've had enough. We're gonna get rid of the vision. They have some vision on the northern part of the map, one near the middle, but that's gonna get rewarded pretty soon.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Trying to sneak an outpost under the nose of the Doom. And Monkey King, Boundless Strike. Beyond godlike, 13, 2, and 6. If he just, dies once, has 1 assist, he's got one of the numbers. Oh, they found the TB?
Or maybe
oh dear.
I feel better.
The door is missing.
I wouldn't say this game's slowly falling apart, but medium, let's say it at a medium speed.
It hasn't fallen apart yet. It is falling apart still. Okay. So what are the things going for Tempo right now? Because they're losing heroes just one by one, toppling like dominoes. Lose the tree at top, the TB mid, the Mirana falls mid as well, and now potentially high ground find for HellRaisers, or at the very least you force some buybacks.
And we are slowly reaching the speed of light here, considering how fast Monkey King's getting the towers.
What's the speed of light, Lacoste?
Radiant's middle tower
I don't
is under
know
attack.
the exact number, but it's very speedy.
3 times 10 to the 8 meters per second or something? I don't know. It's a
I
big
just
number.
wanted to sound smart, but failed to do so. Just
diving tier 4, Lacoste!
Your side,
Okay.
Gary.
Blink Skewer, Mitch tries to stampede, but the chain stuns, the damage, the shot, not quite enough. They do finally kill him off. Oh, it's Kasani with the Scorched Earth. Gets the killing blow, so another hero down, and Tempo having to fight 4 versus 5 yet again. Arrows trying to clear out creeps. Crypt Swarm being spammed out, Nature's Grasp to block the entrance to this high ground now. Monkey King with Satanic Manta moving away from the arrow and letting Kasani tank that up for him, who holds the BKB and the cheese. And the first lane of barracks, for the first time, going to go down here to HellRaisers. We've seen Tempo do this 22 minutes every game.
It's just too much damage. Monkey King, level 25, parks himself in front of the tower, starts to get monkeys from Aghanim Scepter. Panic a bit further away so they don't see them.
Wrong. He just wanted to defend the tower. He'll butt down the Yules into Cursed Crown. The Master dodge that gets Krillap out of the stuns. As the Doombringer still holding BKB and the cheese for any form of initiation.
HR just wants to reset. Magnus went in with the blink and skewer. Now it's ready up once again. And
Glimmer Cake looking to jump. There it is. RP captures 2. The TV's the big ticket item though. And the damage is unstoppable. DPTV both dead. And this has got to be game over. There is no way back into this. Good luck, Furnace and DNZ. HellRaisers keep themselves in the tournament. And Tempo, unfortunately, are out.
Yeah, I gotta say, watching Tempo play, they have been very one-dimensional. I feel like they are pick the same heroes every single time they can. It's either